Hey everyone, it's Ivan at KitBadger.com, here to bring you another gear review, and today talking about this guy, the Crye JPC Jumpable Plate Carrier. Before I get into the JPC, I should probably talk about my journey of how I ended up here. First started contracting back in 2010, and I was on the small contract in a location, politically probably shouldn't have been. Consequently, went on a bunch of commercial flights to get there except the very last leg. So, didn't want to bring a bunch of kit with us because going through customs is a no-go. But once I got off the plane, they're like, here's your kit. Handed me this OG Blackwater plate carrier. In fairness to them, that entire market of plate carriers was relatively new, but this thing from the word go sucked. Massive plastic buckles right up here at your shoulders because you need to take this thing off really quick, so it has these ridiculous buckles on the back as well, so you couldn't get away from that. So no matter what, every time you tried to shoulder your rifle, you're trying to fit it on one side of this buckle or the other side, and the buckle consequently is right where you actually want to put the butt stock of your rifle. Then plates fed in from the top, so you had this ridiculous like closure, Velcro's all worn out, super uncomfortable, piece of crap. So that is not going to work for me. I need to find a solution. I think I ended up suffering through one more deployment, getting issued crap gear, and I was like, no more. Ended up kind of weighing out some different options between the Mayflower APC and this Crye JPC. Ended up going this route, purchased it beginning of 2011. Couldn't be happier with this purchase. Honestly, one of the biggest selling points for me on this plate carrier is these shoulder straps. Super thin, light, low profile, and still comfortable. This plate carrier essentially comes in two halves, and both of them have the shoulder straps front and back made out of this Hypalon material, incredibly durable, and it's backed with male, female Velcro respectively. So you end up peeling this cover back and figure out whatever size you need. Overlap it, get it to where it needs to be adjusted. Once you're there, shoulder straps, they have bar tacking across it, so you can cut it at all these different places. Each one, I don't know, probably about 3/4 of an inch or so. Cut off the excess. Because it's bar tacked, it's not gonna unthread everything else that's on there. Then you just slide this cover back into place and you're good to go. Another one of my favorite features is this Skeletal Cumberbund that Crye has. Really great design. I like it for a number of reasons. One, it can be used as MOLLE. You can attach anything to it. If you look from the side, there's a couple different layers going on here, all stitched together. What that allows is you to fix any type of MOLLE pouch you want to this cummerbund. As you can see over here, I have this tourniquet pouch. Weave it like you would any other MOLLE pouch. Crye also makes some specific made pouches, such as side 6x6 plate pouches if you want to run side plates. I choose not to, and I really like this design because one, it's really cool in the summer when it's like 120 degrees out in the desert. The other thing it does for me is it keeps the sides really low profile. That way I can have a regular ride holster, pretty much use any holster for that matter, rather than having to, a lot of people ended up moving to drop leg holsters because these cummerbunds were huge, they had tons of gear and shit on them, to where you couldn't draw your pistol out of it and get caught. With this, it'll cinch down nice and tight, no issue whatsoever drawing it out. The other great thing is this right here, their bungee shock cord that they use. What it allows is once you put this thing on, there's some flex, there's a little bit of give. So you can cinch this thing down, not over tight, but get it nice and snug. And there's still a little bit of room, a little bit of wiggle room, especially if you start breathing really heavy. This will actually move with you as opposed to just constricting your entire chest. One word of caution is these things. When you put knots in this shock cord, they don't like to stay together. What I found works really well is knot these guys up and then throw some sort of riggers tape, something like that around them, and it'll keep them from unraveling. Another nice feature of this plate carrier is this panel right here. It's on the back plate pocket as well as the front plate pocket. It's just this mesh, it's comfortable, it doesn't abrade, it allows airflow right there. Essentially right here on your chest, same place on your back. Nice little bonus. If you're wearing this all day, you will appreciate it. Also right here behind this Velcro field, which is all MOLLE by the way, you can still attach pouches up here. You essentially have an admin pocket. Access it through the top with this Velcro, and inside there's 3 elastic loops if you want to organize things vertically through there. Personally, the way I end up using this pocket for myself is have a number of Kim lights up there, a Sharpie in there, some soft like disposable ear pro in case I forget them, and a AA for my night vision. Moving down the front of the plate carrier, we have a bunch of stuff going on here. One, we have this front panel, which I'll get to in a minute. It's how we take this thing on and off. But right here, there's essentially a big MOLLE field. I've covered it with this Blue Force Gear 10-speed triple mag pouch. Why? Because it works best for me. Allows me to carry my magazines. Once I draw them out, it can lay flat. In addition to this, if I'm going somewhere where I need to have a lower profile, I can take all my magazines out, and this is going to print a lot less on a cover shirt as opposed to a big MOLLE grid, and I can just run with the magazines I have on my belt. In addition to that, back here, integral to this, we have this Velcro lip along here that opens up, and we have 3 individual pockets for magazines. All can be retained with these shot cord bungees. Really great because now, with this 10-speed front, I can load up 6 magazines. I'll be loaded for bear at that point. But I don't usually do that because I know once I go in the prone, it doesn't work. I have this giant stack in front of me and it keeps me up a lot higher than I would otherwise like. So generally, I'll run my 3 magazines here, have the rest on my belt. Works out really good for my needs. To put this on or take it off, we just lift this front panel and then we take these side pieces off, our Skeletal Cumberbund. At that point, we just drop this over the top, lift the panel back up, and then we put our side pieces on. When you size this to yourself, I would suggest sizing it to you wearing a t-shirt. What this allows is if I'm layered up, I don't have a bunch of adjustment to make. All I end up doing is essentially putting this not as deep in. That allows me to have all this space over here to be taken up with a warming layer without having buckles, straps, anything like that to adjust. All the adjustments done up front. Additionally, little side note, some value for you. When you're adjusting these straps up top, the top of your plate here as well as the back, you want to basically be able to reach down, touch it with your chin. Why? Because there's nothing vital down here. Don't get me wrong, I want to get shot down in the gut. Definitely don't want to get my spine hit, but everything that keeps you alive, i.e. lungs, heart, is up here. So that's where we want our protection to be. Right back here, right behind this, I have that aortic arch. If that gets nicked, unless you're on the operating table already, you're gonna bleed out instantly. Having your plates adjusted where they should be, i.e. high up here, definitely the way they're supposed to be for a reason. A quick note, if you still run a stock buttstock on an M4, anything like that, where you actually have that little metal sling keeper, one, I usually just take that thing off, even if it's an issued weapon, because it sucks. Just run my sling through my stock. But if you still have that, there is a potential for it to get caught in this loop. Most people don't run that anymore. If you are, there is a potential there. As far as comfort goes, it's about as comfortable as you're gonna get for strapping 20 pounds to your chest. Been on 12-hour shifts, patrolled, all these different things, ran Murph a couple times, basically a hero workout, like 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 squats, running on the front and back with a 20-pound vest. Still sucks, but it's as comfortable as you're gonna get strapping 20 pounds to you. They have a version 2 of this, JPC 2.0. I have no need for it. One of the big things with it is kind of a quick off, like for maritime ops, if you end up going in the water so this thing doesn't drown you. I don't have any need for that. It also has zippers for attaching some of their different components. Again, no need for it. This is, in my opinion, hands down the best turnkey plate carrier you can get. Really comfortable, does everything for me, and it already has integrated mag pouches. If my budget is that and I can't afford anything else, strap this thing on, throw your 3 mags in there, you're good to go. Get these guys in a couple different colors, obviously multicam, as well as a coyote and a ranger green. Best place price-wise to find them is OP Tactical. You can sometimes get them for about 230 bucks. Otherwise, straight through Crye for about 250. US materials, made here in the US. Great piece of gear. As always, thanks for joining us at kitbadger.com. Look forward to seeing you next time.
I'm gonna take a bus downtown to the graveyard shift tonight.